Hello everybody, Mannix here. Going to be doing a knife review on an M-Tech. Yes, cheap knife. It's the MT-A844SL. M-Tech is a knife company that will always have a special place in my heart. No, they're not the best, but I think they make some pretty awesome, just cool looking, kind of gimmicky designs. I don't know, there's something about them I just think is cool. They're not my first choice for looks, of course, but stuff like this, they do weird, crazy, out there kind of stuff, and I just think it's cool. And the biggest reason people in the knife community in general don't like the M-Techs is because they're cheap, and really it comes down to the blade steel. Generally they use 440, I think this is 440A, it could be 440C, I don't know, it just says 440 stainless. USA design, but manufactured in China. Handcrafted in China. But once in a while, I'll just browse through the M-Tech knives again. I'll just find one, oh, that looks cool. That's weird looking. Like, there's not many knives out there on the market from like a bigger, better company. But, at the end of the day, they still cut stuff. If you're not using them all the time, you just get the blade sharp. It can take a while with these cheaper blade steels. It's the biggest problem. The heat treatment is very poor. But once you do get them sharp, you can use them for, like backup defense purposes or something. If you never use it, and you just wait for that one rainy day when you have to, a cheap knife will work just fine for that. And a knife with this design is going to excel at that. So it would be cool if some of the M-Techs were a little bit more refined and they used nicer blade steels, but generally speaking, their fit and finishes are good, their lockup is good. It's good on this one anyway. This one's also assisted. This knife carries okay. There's not really much to complain about other than the fact the blade steel, I've had trouble resharpening it, and it doesn't hold an edge very long, and that's what you're gonna have to expect with these cheap knives. You can get these for anywhere around like 10 bucks or so completely worth it for that. But if you wanted a quality knife, there's CRKT, there's Kershaw's, there's the Spyderco Bird line and such. There's a lot of probably better options if you want to spend $20 to $30, and that's usually why I don't recommend these. Those cheaper knives I do recommend because you just spend a little more and you get a lot more for your money. But if you really don't want to spend that much, they're still functional knives. They still work. They're still cool. So anyway, let's get on with the specs. Let's just measure it on camera here. The blade looks like 3.2, I'm gonna say 3.2 inches, and then our handle is close to like 4.5 inches or so. Weight, it feels kind of heavier. It's 5.86 ounces according to my scale right here. It has aluminum handle scales, non-milled, non-skeletonized steel liners in there. It is a liner lock. It is assisted. We have a black coating on it, which actually holds up okay, I'm surprised. It's a flipper knife. It's kind of an interesting flipper. It cants out like that. It makes it just kind of easy to push in, and then it doubles as a guard like most flippers do. We have heavy jimping, if you will, up here, which is somewhat functional. Not really. It's actually almost uncomfortable. And particularly, the one thing I don't really like about this knife is the jaggies right here in the liner. It really kind of digs into your index finger right there. But if you want it to hold on, that's great and all, but it's not the most comfortable knife to hold. We even have more milling down here too. And then some on the back, right here on the spine. So a lot of attention to detail. Fin finish is pretty cool. We have kind of like a dragon-like pattern, it looks over here. I like the colors, it's cool. It's gray, it's like a sepia tone. It's like a greenish gray, I don't know, it's just interesting, it's cool. We have an extreme blade style right here. It's like an extreme hawkbill, not quite a hawkbill, it's like a talon. I don't know what you would call that, but it almost has a second like point right here. It's almost like a crazy Tonto in reverse. I don't know, but it's not. It's technically an inward belly like that, but there's just an extreme cant right there. And this is handy for opening boxes. You're talking about the whole defense thing. This is a great blade style option because once you dig into material, the material has nowhere to go but further into the blade as you pull. It's just very menacing, very scary looking, just cool. It reminds me of like a crow or something. I don't know, a crow's beak or raven. It's just cool. We have like a thumb hole, it kind of looks like, but it's not easy to use. I just call it aesthetic, and it also lightens up the knife a little bit. Again, just very cool looking. You can really dig your hand into it. It's not going to slip out very easily. Got a big old guard there. It's easy to deploy. Assisted. Don't expect the torsion bars to last forever. I've even had Kershaw's that had torsion bars break on me within a few days, so that's why I prefer it was not assisted, but it is what it is. Pocket clip right here, it's kind of slanted, very, just kind of cheap, covert, Carries very fine. Perfect tension on this. There's some pocket clips out there on the cheaper knives that I would just stay away from entirely, that they'll just rip right off. This one, the M-Tech seems to do an okay job with theirs. I've never had any issues with this. It's loop over, so it carries kind of like that. That's about what's poking out of your pocket if you were to pull it out. Just boom, open it up like that. It is right hand, tip down, carry only, like a lot of cheap knives are. Just a hair of side to side, but I could tighten it down if I wanted to. No up and down, very good lockup. We got a nice big old stop pin right there. There's not really a whole lot to say. It's on the heavier side, close to 6 ounces. If you're into your lightweight, it's not for you. If you're not into extreme, creepy, like scary looking designs like this one, not for you. Most people are going to take one look at this knife and be like, ew, no, get it away. I happen to think stuff that's spiky and weird and crazy is cool. I like stuff like that, but it stands up like that too. It's pretty sweet. So you're not spending a whole lot, and it is a functional knife. Just don't expect the blade still to last too long. It's just a subpar heat treatment. It's not the best. But as far as the fit and finish, the way it looks, the way it locks up, it's good. And if you got this even relatively sharp, it would function just fine as a defensive tool per se. And even if it's not that sharp, you can still do open packages and stuff with that blade right there. I do kind of like the indentation right here. Just it makes it a little more comfortable to close it with the index finger and the thumb. It was just one of those love at first sight knives. I was scrolling through M-Techs about a year ago. I was like, ooh, I want that. I just bought it. It was just one of those things. Because it was so cheap, I felt like there was nothing to lose. Like, yeah, I might as well. But then after a while, after I had a few M-Techs just for collecting them, just because I think they're cool and stuff, eventually I was like, if only I just saved my money. If only I just did not buy these 3 M-Techs and just use the $35 or whatever it was to get something nice. Yeah, that's kind of the issue with these cheaper knives. But I don't really regret the purchase or anything. It's still cool. So that's it. That is the M-Tech, what's the box? The A844SL. And on the blade right here it says MT-A844. I guess SL has something to do with the color of the handle, because they also sell these in a purple color, which is kind of cool too. But anyway, that's it. I do like cheap knives like this just for seeing the weird, wacky designs they come up with, because sometimes they come up with some stuff I'm like, ooh, how come this other company didn't do something like that? Or even if they're not that well executed, they still come up with very good designs sometimes. So that is that. If you want more knife reviews, flashlight reviews, and all kinds of tactical style videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notifications button next to it, because I am now uploading videos every single Wednesday, at the least, once every Wednesday. So anyway, thank you for watching. Mannix signing off.